Honourable Clayton Cosgrove.
Mr. Speaker, that was the National Party leader who achieved the worst result of any National Party leader in our history that we know of. No, in excess of 50 years. In excess of 50 years in 2002. And I'll tell you what's hilarious about the budget policy statement. Bill English was so desperate to get some support on this document that he rang his brother up, who works for Fed Farmers, National Party in gumboots, and said, "Come on, bro, I need somebody to put a submission in to support this." And what did we have? We had one submission from National Party in gumboots, Fed Farmers, in support. No one ever bothered to submit. No one else. No one else. And I say to that member, his brother did a good job. I say to that member, I don't know what the strategy of the National Party is, apart from asset sales, unleashing the dogs of war on the poor and unemployed, at the same time as Joan Withers, the chair of Mighty River Power, and her board get $1,200 a day, as Solid Energy's directors get another 30 grand, as with Meridian, as with others. And these guys are great, of course, at looking after their own. But when it comes to the poor and unemployed, they'll try and scratch out $10 here and $10 there. But my word, sir, they'll look after their own. So what we've got is flogging off the family silver, taking a bit of tax off paper boys, stealing a few of the shift workers' car parks. That's a cracker, isn't it? Even John Hayes knows that's a loser, an absolute loser. And selling assets. That is the strategy. That is the strategy over there. They unleash the dogs of war on the unemployed. They say to the unemployed, get a job, and unemployed folks should get a job. But the problem is there are no jobs created by this government. 163,000 people unemployed, 90,000 young people not in work, not in training, not in education. That's the legacy. 1,000 people a week to Australia. And remember the political campaign ad? What was it, Eden Park or somewhere? You know, John Key, ambitious for New Zealand, was going to fix all that. 1,000 people a week going across the ditch. He was going to close the wage gap between Australia and New Zealand. It's widened. Nothing has happened with this government. They tinker, and Bill English actually admitted himself. He said, we want to maintain the support of mainstream New Zealand, so basically what we're going to do is we're not going to do anything bold, we're not going to make any major reforms, we're just going to sort of keep the ship of state sort of paddling along, and at some point some magical hand will come and prevent it from crashing into the rocks, as we are now. Second to Greece in our current account deficit, soon to be first. So that's the legacy of Bill English. That's the strategy, and he should apologise, as David Parker said, for all the promises he made, for all the ambitious for New Zealand. He should apologise today because he's broken his promise. He's told porkies to the people of New Zealand, and as this guy hands off, this guy is so relaxed, he's horizontal. He's hands off in terms of Solid Energy, not his problem. An export award-winning company for 9 years under the last government, a basket case under him and Tony Ryle, and he knew everything that was going on there, month-to-month reports, and now what happens is the poor old taxpayers up the kazoo for $389 million. $389 million is the legacy Bill English has left the people of New Zealand. An award-winning exporting company, now a basket case, while that man over there and Tony Ryle with his limp answers were asleep at the wheel, and Stephen Joyce, of course, the Associate Minister with delegation for SOEs, but it's everybody else's fault. So I say to Bill English, apologise, apologise and apologise again to people.
I call Dr Russell Norman.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. I want to